If you ask me, what we witnessed was the final nail in the coffin for this whole experiment. This LeBron-Luka-LeBron power struggle, we're told it's Luka's team, but is it really? After getting humiliated at home by a decimated Orlando Magic squad, LeBron James actually told a reporter he had no idea what day it was. I'm not kidding, that's a verbatim quote. And commentator Kelvin Washington has clearly seen enough of the circus. He went on the record, flat out demanding the Lakers cut LeBron from the team immediately. Not next year, not next week right now, before he poisons the well any further. So tell me, should the Lakers just rip the Band-Aid off, officially start the Luka era, and ship LeBron out before the playoffs? Or do you actually think this washed-up version of LeBron gives them a better shot at a title? Let me know what you really think in the comments below. He has 5 to get it in. Luka with 5 seconds. Luka gives it to LeBron for the win. And Orlando is somehow going to walk out of here with a victory. Let's just start with the quote, because it's the only thing anyone should be talking about after that pathetic excuse for a loss. A reporter asked LeBron to grade the team's performance and improvement over the past 3 weeks. His answer? He claimed he didn't even know what day of the week it was when he woke up. He then had the nerve to tell the reporter he was asking the wrong person about the last 3 weeks. Just process that for a minute. This is LeBron James, Mr. 4 championships, the 22-year veteran, the very man who has marketed himself in his own media and through his circle of yes men as one of the most brilliant leaders in basketball minds the NBA has ever witnessed. After getting punked on his home court by an Orlando Magic team missing 2 starters, this is how he addresses his own team's failure. He said he was clueless about the date and pawned the reporter off on someone else, because I'm convinced that in his mind, he's so programmed to be the alpha, so used to being the guy. We've all seen it. We watched Luka run Dallas for 5-6 years. He was the undisputed man, taking every clutch shot. I swear a part of Luka's brain just short-circuited, like a 5% glitch that made him pump fake and think, what would LeBron do? And he just passes it to LeBron, who's probably thinking, dude, you're wide open. It was like a Bizarro World Spider-Man meme where they're both just pointing at each other in utter confusion. Because for years we've screamed at LeBron, just shoot the ball, stop overthinking it. And right there, Luka had a classic LeBron-level brain freeze. A complete I overthought that moment. And that right there is the perfect little snapshot proving why this whole partnership is completely and utterly doomed. That isn't a superstar having a rough night. That's a 41-year-old running on fumes who has completely run out of answers and can't even be bothered to pretend anymore. And that is the exact reason Kelvin Washington finally said what the mainstream media, especially those in bed with Clutch Sports, have been too scared to even whisper for months. Get LeBron James off this team, not load managed, not rested on the bench gone. Before he completely torpedoes what could be a legitimate championship run built around the most unstoppable offensive force in the sport, Luka Doncic. And another thing we saw, Rob G, if you're into the whole lip-reading game, Luka was on the sidelines right after it all went down, talking to his teammates, and he apparently muttered, LeBron told me to pass the ball, so I passed the ball. It's got the same energy as Chris Webber's infamous timeout, basically saying, hey, they told me to do it. Meanwhile, Washington wasn't holding back at all. He argued that LeBron is actively smothering Luka's development into the face of this franchise, and that his very presence is costing the Lakers games they should easily win. Keeping him on the court out of some misplaced legacy respect while the season goes down the drain is the biggest financial mistake this team can make. Now, let's get to the actual game. The quote is the headline, sure, but the tape is the indictment. What was the plan on that last play, anyway? I realize you said you didn't get the shot you wanted. No, we executed. We executed. Like I said, I felt like, I'm not sure. I mean, you're gonna have to ask Luka what he saw out there. But from my perspective, I thought he had a good look. It seemed like he just kind of lost his footing, lost his rhythm with the ball, or whatever happened. And that slip-up let the defender get right back on him. I was a little off-kilter when he passed it to me. I really thought he had a great look. But hey, that's just my POV. The Lakers had a 13-point lead in the second half against a Magic team that didn't even have Jalen Suggs or Franz Wagner. 2 of their starters were out. The win was practically gift wrap for the Lakers, and they managed to fumble it away, 1 possession at a time, until Orlando walked out of Crypto.com Arena with a 110-109 win. That debacle dropped the Lakers to 6th in the West, their second straight loss after getting obliterated by 22 points against the Celtics just 3 days prior. And the defensive breakdown that ultimately cost them the game, it needs to be examined frame by frame, because it reveals every single cancer that has been growing on this roster all year. It's a 1-point game. Carroll drives into the paint, kicks it out to Bane for a wide open 3, and Bane drills it. Let's be clear. Desmond Bane was 0 for 5 from three-point range through the first 3 quarters. 0, 4, 5. The man was colder than a polar bear's toenails. He is the absolute last guy in the league you give a wide-open look to in the fourth quarter of a nail-biter. Because when Desmond Bane gets his rhythm, he is one of the deadliest shooters on the planet. Every fan in that arena knew it. Every coach on that bench knew it. Every single veteran player who understands basic situational basketball knew it. But LeBron James decided to gamble. He abandoned his man. He left Bane standing all alone on the perimeter with 34.6 seconds left and the Magic down by 1. Bane knocks down the go-ahead 3. Magic take the lead. And James Worthy, a man with 3 Showtime-era championships, a man who played under Pat Riley and knows what championship-level defense actually is, looked at that play and called it what it was. He said LeBron got suckered in. Those are not kind words coming from a franchise icon. That is a certified champion calling out a pathetic defensive blunder from a player who's been in this league for 22 years and has no business making such a boneheaded mistake in that situation. You stick to Desmond Bane like glue in the fourth quarter of a one-possession game. This is not advanced calculus. It's fundamental awareness. And LeBron made the absolute wrong choice at the worst possible time. But the train wreck wasn't even over yet. There was still a flicker of hope. The Lakers got the ball. LeBron found Luka for a dunk. They go up by 1 with 6.7 seconds to go. Magic ball. Paolo Banchero heaves up a pull-up shot, and it clanks off the rim. And then, the moment that truly defined this pathetic loss unfolded. Nobody even tried to get the defensive rebound. Forget LeBron. Forget DeAndre Ayton. Not a single soul in a Lakers jersey even bothered to fight for that ball. So who gets the game-winning rebound? Orlando's backup center, Wendell Carter Jr. He completely schooled every last Laker on the court, tipped it in, and that was all she wrote. Game over. Orlando dominated the boards, 47-39. They snatched 13 offensive rebounds, which turned into 15 second-chance points. And this was a one-point game. Pathetic. They got mauled in the paint, 58-50, against the most expensive, overpaid roster this sport has ever seen. What a joke. Orlando's backup center snagged that rebound for one simple reason. Nobody on the home team had the guts to go get it. Even J.J. Redick called the loss deflating. He didn't say disappointing. He didn't say unacceptable. Deflating. You know, like a sad, old balloon that just slowly leaks air until it collapses under its own bloated weight. Sound familiar? And get this, after 57 games, he's still up there at a press conference admitting this team has no identity. But don't worry, he thinks they'll eventually figure it out. 57 games deep. Newsflash. Thanksgiving was 3 months ago. The great Phil Jackson had his championship teams figured out by Turkey Day. But nope, J.J. Redick is stuck waiting for eventually to show up. And everyone knows why he's waiting. The problem is sitting right there on the court every night, a black hole sucking up space and possessions that rightfully belong to the real franchise player. Oh, but let's get to the final play, because this one cringeworthy train wreck exposes every single thing wrong with this team. Luka Doncic gets the ball, left wing, 6.7 seconds on the clock. He's got a wide open shot, a clean look at a game-winning 3. And what does he do? He freezes. He hesitates, picks up his dribble. Unbelievable. Suddenly, he's doubled by Banchero and Anthony Black. So he kicks it back out to LeBron James, who's just camping in the corner, covered by Jonathan Isaac. And the brilliant play? LeBron jacks up some contested, off-balance, fadeaway prayer at the buzzer. Clank. It bounces off the rim. Game over. Another Lakers loss. But hold on. Because the real show, the real circus started at the post-game press conference. So there's LeBron, sitting at the podium, ready to break down the final play. And get this, in just 3 sentences, he manages to mention Luka's name, or his balance, or his decision-making 4 times. First, he says, "Oh, I thought Luka had a great look." Then it was, well, it looked like Luka kind of lost his balance. Then, Luka didn't have a rhythm. And the cherry on top? I was times off balance myself when Luka passed it to me. Notice a pattern? He spun the entire narrative around what Luka did wrong, without a single shred of accountability for the fact that a 41-year-old veteran taking a terrible, contested shot with no time left is the definition of a broken play. But the cameras caught Luka's face, while LeBron was running his mouth. You didn't need to be a lip reader to see the 5 words forming on his lips. The entire world saw it. Then, it was Luka's turn. A reporter asks him what happened. He says 4 simple words and walks off. That is on me. He didn't write a novel about his teammates' so-called balance. He didn't give a 4-sentence dissertation analyzing what someone else did. Just, that is on me. End of story. Period. So let's get this straight. The 25-year-old kid takes all the blame for a loss that the 41-year-old leader actively caused. First by gambling on defense and giving up the go-ahead bucket, and then by watching his team get punked on the boards. And while all this is happening, the 41-year-old is at the podium whining about Luka's rhythm. Kelvin Washington saw right through the whole charade and said what everyone's thinking. The Lakers have to dump LeBron from this roster. Immediately, not next season, right now. Before he hijacks one more play, before we have to sit through another pathetic press conference where the supposed king throws the real franchise player under the bus. And if you think that's just talk, look at the numbers. The stats don't lie, and they back up Washington 100%. Luka Doncic is putting up God-tier numbers, 32.8 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.6 assists a game. That's not just great, that's historically dominant. Those are MVP numbers. And he's dragging this team to 6th place in the West all by himself. The kid shows up and performs at an elite level every single night, whether they win or lose. He does his job. This team is collapsing around him, not because of him. Remember when LeBron was out for the first 14 games with his sciatica issues? The Lakers went 11-4 without him. Back then, Luka and Austin Reeves were dropping 40-point bombshells on people. The team actually had energy. They knew who they were. They had a system that worked. And ever since LeBron came back, the team's trajectory has been a nosedive, just like the data predicted. When Luka and Reeves are on the floor without LeBron, their net rating is a +18. They dominate, but put all three of them out there together, they instantly become one of the most pathetic offenses in the entire league. Brian Windhorst put the differential at a staggering 20 points per 100 possessions. And those numbers aren't getting better. They're just piling up, screaming the same truth they've been screaming all season long. Now here's the juicy part. Bleacher Report is saying the Lakers front office is already having secret meetings, quietly planning for a future built around Luka Doncic as the cornerstone. The whispers are already happening in the building. The entire strategy is shifting behind the scenes. The only thing missing is someone inside that organization with the guts to say it out loud, just like Kelvin Washington did for the whole world to hear. Look at Paolo Banchero. He dropped 36 points on the Lakers. The kid is 23 years old, and he was infinitely more ready for the big moment than the 41-year-old fossil on the other team. He absolutely bullied his way to the line, hitting 10 of 11, and did all his damage inside against a Lakers defense that looked terrified of any physical contact. After the game, he just said he knew he had to step up. No excuses, no drama, no breaking down his teammates' performance. And that's the whole pathetic story right there. A short-handed, hungry, and accountable Magic team rolled into Hollywood and simply out-hustled and out-toughed a team with way more talent. A team with bigger paychecks, more experience, and apparently zero desire to do the simple, hard work that it takes to win. And now the Lakers only have 25 games left to save themselves. They've got the Phoenix Suns up next. Meanwhile, teams like OKC, Denver, and Houston are looking down on them from the top of the standings. That play-in tournament? Oh, it's not some distant nightmare anymore. It's a very real, very embarrassing possibility that this roster is spiraling towards at the worst possible time of year. They're saying LeBron James woke up Tuesday morning and didn't even know what day it was. Seriously, the playoffs start in April. That gives him about 8 weeks to figure out what month it is, let alone answer the question that James Worthy, Kelvin Washington, all the damning lineup data, the embarrassing rebounding stats, and that cringe-worthy press conference footage, and the 25 remaining games are all screaming at the same time. Is LeBron James the one holding this team hostage? And if the answer is yes, and we all know it is, what in the world is the front office waiting for? The clock is ticking, the standings are shifting, and the entire season is slipping away. So whether LeBron can find his calendar or not, the fact remains. He walked off that podium blaming Luka's balance, while Luka just said, "That's on me," and left. And the standings show them clinging to 6th place. The rebound numbers show a beatdown, 47-39. And Kelvin Washington finally said the quiet part out loud. This franchise has a choice to make, and April is coming fast. Don't even pretend you don't see what's happening. If you've got a shred of sense, prove it. Smash that like button and subscribe this instant.